So I had a new customer come in yesterday, a pretty cool guy, and he dropped off these massive LS intake stacks. Basically they're all cleaned, ready to sandblast. Well, this one is here. I gotta mask the runners here. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16 sets of bearings that needed to get popped out. Don't ask what type of wizardry that I did to get them out, but there's a hint. I used the oven to assist with that. Anyways, I'm gonna finish prepping, masking and plugging all the holes. This sucker is serious equipment. Aside from the injectors, there's ports for nitrous, and this is about making some serious powder. So, let's see how it comes out. So as always, I'm doing my rinse after sandblast. I blew everything off, but I do my acetone rinse and then go back into the oven to cook off the vapors. But one thing I want to point out with this aluminum, see these porous pieces here have pits. You don't notice them as much when it's polished, but after you take off that shine, you see it's a little more evident. But one thing that I've had a problem with in the past with these aluminum pieces that have all these pits is you go over with the Cerakote and you think you're going conservative with the coating, but those pockets hold a lot of fluid, and then you end up getting a lot of vapor pop. So I had these really easy pieces over here, and I redid them like 3 times because I was like, man, I'm going light, I'm not going heavy, what's going on? I'm not getting dry spray. It's because of these pores. They hold in the Cerakote, and then there's nowhere to go to air out, and then they just become bubbles. So just keep that in mind when you're doing porous aluminum. All right, this is all masked and plugged. Keep in mind from the previous video I mentioned when doing especially E-Series Blackout, I would have this tape residue problem where it was fish-eyeing a bit once I sprayed the Cerakote on the surface, and it happens particularly with aluminum. But I did rinse like I always do with acetone, and then cook off the vapors after blasting. This was a little warm, so I was extra careful to not let my tape kind of overlap on the bare surface while I was masking. Kept everything real tight and just trimmed it tight, so I hopefully won't have that issue with the tape residue, because if you experienced it, it's a pain in the butt. And by the looks of this complex piece, this is the last thing that I want to have to rinse off with acetone quickly or sandblast off and start again. So see how it comes out. All right, so I'm all set. These are ready, they're clean, they're blasted, they're masked, they're beautiful. Of course, I'm gonna give them my little quick scrub down with the 3M pads, air things off really well, hit all these little porous pockets, blow them out really good, make sure it's nice and clean. And sometimes I like to situate things how they're gonna be on the engine or the car. These are upright, so obviously I want to get all the surfaces really well coated, but sometimes it helps to see how it's going to be placed, so I know for damn sure like everything looks good once it's sprayed. So next step. Nighty night. See if we got some fresh cookies tomorrow. All right, here we go. LS Stacks E100 Blackout. The oven cured for 2 hours at 300 degrees. Everything looks nice and solid as it should. I will note you can still see the pores in the aluminum, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. The E-Series is a really thin product, especially thin for Cerakote because of the solvent content. It's an extremely corrosion and chemical resistant product, as well as scratch resistant. It's rated for 500 degrees Fahrenheit and it has an excellent UV stability rating. I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I hope the customer is as well. And I hope I covered the basics in the video, and note the topic on the tape residue, as I did in previous videos. It's kind of a bugger if you leave it unchecked, but I didn't have the issue with this because I kept my masking nice and sharp. Didn't have stuff overlapping on the bare blasted surface where you get that issue. So anyways, if you have any questions, comments, let me know. On to the next one. Later.